Hey guys, your girl Bella. How are you? Hope everyone's doing well. So in today's video, I plan to give a review about the Platinum Card by American Express. So for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, and don't forget while you're here to hit the subscribe button below and to hit the notification bell so you are notified when my future videos are up on YouTube. So I just want to first start off by saying I am a little biased, just a little, because this is one of my personal favorite cards, but I will give an honest review of the card because even though this card has many benefits, there are some downsides to the card as well. So I just want to first clarify though, this card is not a credit card. It is a charge card. Now for those of you who don't know the difference, a charge card, you cannot carry a balance over month after month like you would with a credit card. The balance has to be paid in full. And with American Express, if you don't pay that balance in full, they will charge you a fee, and then eventually they will end up canceling your card altogether. So if you can't commit to doing that, I would not suggest applying for this card, but they do have other credit cards that are available, so you may want to check those out instead. All right. So the first thing with this card, the annual fee is a bit high. It is $550, but it does come with a lot of benefits that help offset the fee if you are able to maximize the usage of these benefits. So I'm going to go through them one by one to kind of let you know what these are and how you can use them. But before I jump into that, I just want to talk about the earning rate. The earning rate on this card is 5 points on any purchases made directly with the airlines, 5 points on any travel booked directly on AmexTravel.com, and 1 point on all other purchases. And then of course you have the welcome bonus. The standard offer right now is 60,000 membership reward points if you spend $5,000 within the first 3 months of being approved for the card. Now I have to emphasize that the countdown starts the day you are approved, not the day you physically receive the card. Many people don't really know that, so I like to bring that up. So what I normally suggest is the day you are approved to give Amex a call and ask them to expedite ship the card to you, and they will do so at no additional cost. So you will either get the card the next day, depending on how early you are in the day, or you get it within 2 to 3 business days versus the standard 7 to 10. So I highly recommend that so you don't miss the cutoff on earning your bonus points. Now, one small tip I did also want to give is that you can see higher offers if you try different web browsers. I know personally, if you go into the incognito mode on Google Chrome, you normally will see a higher offer. I've seen offers such as 75,000 bonus points or 100,000 points versus the standard 60. So before applying for this card, try to play around with that just a little to see if you can actually get a higher bonus offer, okay? So now we'll jump right into the benefits because that's really what it's all about. So the first benefit that you do have with this card is you do get a $200 Uber credit every year. Now, unfortunately, with American Express, they do give you a lot of rules and restrictions when it comes to using the credits they offer. But as long as you can kind of stick to those guidelines, you can definitely use them. You just have to follow the rules, right? So with the Uber credit, you don't get the $200 up front. You get them in $15 increments in January through November. And then in December, you get a $35 Uber credit. So how that works is once you receive your card and you register it in your actual app, and don't forget, this works in Uber and Uber Eats. So once you register your card, then on the first of each month, when you go into the app, you'll actually see your $15 credit on your account that can be used for your ride or towards your food purchase if you're using Uber Eats. Now you do also get Uber VIP status as well. Now the next benefit that you do get a $200 airline credit that can be used on incidental fees only. So you can only use it on bag fees or any purchases made on board for food and drinks. Doesn't count for onboard Wi-Fi because that's not with the airline. That's usually done through a third-party provider. Now, the other catch with that is you have to select one airline to use this credit for each year. So once you make your selection the day you're approved, you can't change it again until January of the next year, which is when the credit resets, right? So the list of airlines high level: JetBlue, Delta, Southwest, American Airlines. There were a couple more on there, but those are the main airlines that you can use this credit with. Now, one thing that they don't tell you is that you can actually use this credit toward the purchase of gift cards. I personally have done it to buy Southwest gift cards and Delta gift cards. The only catch is you have to do them in smaller increments. The sweet spot seems to be $50. $50 increments seems to be the spot where you can actually get the reimbursement from American Express. If you do anything over that, you normally won't see the credit reimbursement. So just wanted to point that out if you do end up applying for this card. One, I guess, tip or trick to share. Now, the next benefit that you get with this card is you do get a fee credit for any global entry applications or TSA PreCheck application. Now, this credit can only be used once every 4 years for global entry or once every 4.5 years for TSA PreCheck. Now, I personally would go for the global entry application because it includes TSA PreCheck and it's not much more expensive than TSA PreCheck. So TSA PreCheck costs $85, whereas global entry costs $100. And it comes with TSA PreCheck. So even if you don't travel internationally today, you may in the next year, 2 or 3 years. So why not just go for the global entry and just get it all done at once? The only catch is the global entry application process is a little bit more in-depth and in detail. But for me, I think it's just worth it. Just my opinion, but something you may want to consider if you do want to go for the application, whether you apply for the Platinum Card or not. If you're someone who likes to travel, I would suggest going for global entry. It makes traveling through the airports that much smoother, that much easier, and a lot less wait time. Now, one of the newer benefits that the Platinum Card offers is the $100 statement credit with any shopping done with Saks Fifth Avenue. And like all their other credits, there are definitely rules. You don't get the $100 right up front. You do get it in 2 separate increments. So any purchases made from January through June would qualify for the first $50 statement credit. And then any purchases made from July through December would qualify for the remaining $50 statement credit. I mean, I know it's not a lot considering you're shopping at Saks, but it's $100 and you're paying the annual fee, so you might as well take advantage of the benefit. So, you know, you can decide whether or not you want to use it. I personally think, why not? Go for it. Now, the next benefit, which is one of my ultimate favorite benefits, is the access to airport lounges. Now, anyone who travels, whether you travel once a year or every month or every week for work, we all know it is such a burden and it's so tiring traveling through the airport. Between the security lines, dealing with luggage, the long wait times, the delayed flights, it's ridiculous, right? So having access to a lounge where you can get out of the hustle and bustle of the airport, you have free Wi-Fi, you have free food, free drinks, sometimes even an open bar. I mean, it can really make a difference of having a great trip or a really crappy trip. So for me personally, I love being able to go to an airport lounge. Some are better than others. I'm not going to lie. They all aren't luxurious and fancy schmancy or anything, but just being able to get out of the crowd and being able to just have a quiet space to sit where you, and most of them actually have, you can have your own outlet to charge your stuff. You're not fighting with the masses, right, for an outlet to charge your phone or your laptop. So little things like that just to me are really convenient. So this is why I love this card. It just gives me access to so many lounges, and I'll go through that shortly. So if you are someone who travels a lot or who loves to travel, even if it's just once or twice a year, this is the card for you. So now let's kind of go through the list of airport lounges right now.
Okay, so here's a list of lounges that you can access with your Platinum Card. Centurion lounges, Delta Sky Club lounges, but only if you're flying with Delta and you do have to provide a boarding pass to enter. Escape lounges, Airspace lounges, American Express International lounges, and you also get a Priority Pass Select membership card. And this card gives you access to over 1,200 lounges across the globe. And what's great is that you can actually bring in 2 guests at no additional charge.
And since this card is through American Express, you qualify for all the great benefits such as extended warranty, purchase protection. I'll actually put a link to a previous video that I did to talk about that. And you have access to preferred seating and early access to tickets for a lot of concerts and other events, which is great. And then the one last thing I wanted to mention about this card, it does not have a preset spending limit. Now, you don't have unlimited spend by no means, but it doesn't have a hard credit limit. So as you start to spend money on the card, Amex has this algorithm that kind of will shift over time with your spending habits. So as you start spending more and paying the bill more, they'll increase how much you're allowed to spend on the card, which is great. Okay, now that I've kind of gone through all the bells and whistles and the wonderful things about this card, let's talk about the bad parts about this card. Because even though I love this card and it is one of my personal favorites, it does have some downsides to it. So the first thing that I would say is that this card does not offer any sort of trip interruption or trip cancellation insurance that you would get with a Chase credit card. That's why me personally, I no longer book any airfare on this card. Even though the earning rate is kind of high, I rather have the trip insurance and protection when I travel. So I don't use this card for any airfare. So just kind of keep that in mind as you move forward with your application. Now, the next part that I want to talk about is that it's American Express, right? Amex is not as widely accepted as Visa and MasterCard. So if you do keep this card in your wallet, always make sure to keep a backup, because it would suck to get somewhere and they say, we don't accept American Express, right? So that would really suck. So keep that in mind also when you decide to apply for this card. Now, the next downside that I would say is the annual fee. I mean, come on, almost $600, $550, right? That's a lot of money to spend on an annual fee. But as I mentioned in the beginning of my video, if you can utilize all those benefits, you're getting more value than the $550 that you're paying. But if it is something that you're not comfortable in paying, don't apply for the card. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You know, just fine. They do have other cards out there with lower annual fees, and they have nice benefits, not as nice as this one, but there are other cards that Amex offers, so maybe take a look at one of those instead. The other downside to this card is the welcome bonus and the offer. $5,000 is a lot of money to spend in just 3 months, right? So if your budget can't realistically handle that bonus offer requirement, do not, stop. Don't pass go, just stop. Don't do it, right? Because with American Express, it's once in a lifetime. So if you apply for this card and you are unable to meet the spend requirement, you miss out on the welcome bonus and you can never get that bonus again for this particular card. So really look at your budget and your spending habits before applying, because it would really suck to miss out on that bonus point offer if you can't meet the spending requirement, and meet it responsibly. Because don't forget, the balance has to be paid every month in full. So you can't run out and spend $5,000, get the points, and then wait a few months to pay it off. You have to pay it in full. So please think about that before you apply for this card. It is a very expensive card, and if your budget and your personal lifestyle don't mesh well with it, don't do it. Just go with a different card. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. That is my review of the Platinum Card by American Express. Now, if you have this card or are thinking about applying for this card, feel free to leave comments below and let me know your thoughts, all right? Thank you so much, guys, as always, for watching. And while you're here, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified of when my future videos are up on YouTube. All right, thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.